Gloucester Catholic Rams host the Pitman Panthers. Let's throw it to our public address system. Announcer for starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gloucester Catholic High School for tonight's Tri-County Conference matchup between the visiting Pitman Panthers and your host, the Gloucester Catholic Rams. We ask that all spectators keep food and drink out of the gym. We also ask that the standards of good sportsmanship be displayed toward fans, student athletes, coaches, and referees. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams, beginning with the Panthers. Number 14 is senior Maggie Dutil. The senior, number 20, Abby Finn. Senior, number 35, Elise Rutherford. Wearing number 23, a junior, Brooke Dresch. And a junior, number 41, Mary Beato. The Panthers are coached by Miss Liz Gibbs. And now the starting lineups for your host, the Gloucester Catholic Rams. Starting at guard and junior number 3, Kerry Corrado. At the other guard, wearing number 10, is senior Alyssa Zweigler. Starting at forward and junior number 23, Dominica Navone. At the other forward position is junior number 21, Kristen Leffler. And at center is senior number 14, Megan Pierman. The head coach of the Rams, Mrs. Lisa Gadeka. She was assisted by Dana Anastasia, Maggie Mazaway, and Gail Connell.
Well, there you see, right in the huddle of the Gloucester Catholic Rams, a matchup of a pair of teams just with 2 losses each on the season. Solid tri-county game on tap tonight.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of the season you had to believe that Pitman was going to be a very good team with Maggie Dutil, Mary Beato, and Shirley McFall coming back and returning for the season. But Gloucester Catholic was a big surprise. They struggled last season. They had a group of seniors. They were all going to graduate. And the one thing with that is if you have a team that struggled during their senior year, you get a new crop of players coming in. But they didn't expect for this team to gain the experience needed to play an early season schedule, one that included Bishop Eustis, which they did lose to but played extremely well against, and Haddon Heights, who they played very well against. This Gloucester Catholic team could be 11-0.
And as far as the Pitman team, a loss against Wildwood, which was can only be characterized as a blowout. But the only other loss against Clearview, they shot just 18% in that game, and Coach Gibbs not pleased with the performance in that one. So should be a good one. A solid Pitman team boasting 2 1,000-point scores. Both of these girls probably will eclipse the mark held for 55 years at Pitman in total scoring. And the jump ball will go the Rams' way, and it'll be Corrado, the diminutive point guard, to bring it across the timeline. What Pitman's going to do today is try to show Gloucester Catholic a number of looks. Coach Gibbs has the utmost respect for the way the Rams run their offense, so precise, and feels if she can throw him a curveball, so to speak, then that's the best means of offsetting this offense of the Rams.
Yeah, both teams, both the girls, that's a walk there. Both the boys and the girls programs here at Gloucester Catholic, well coached, and they love to move the ball around. And you know what you're going to get there is if you cut to the basket, you're going to get some easy layups. And on defense, what you need to do is make sure that you talk and communicate extremely well. One of the things that Gloucester Catholic has done good during the beginning of this season is communication.
So Pitman looking to feed inside. They do. Baseline runner for Maggie Dutil.
Yeah, Dutil. We saw her during the summertime, and in fact, she's on Channel 5 a lot now, as she was a part of the standout reality show that we have on Channel 5, the local reality show. And Maggie representing Pitman in that show along with Steve Soller.
Rams able to pull down their own rebound inside the three-point line, rims out, rebound, and Pitman comes away. It's Beato.
That was Loeffler in the corner, and Lisa Gadeka, the coach of Gloucester Catholic, said that, you know, basically all 5 of our starters have the green light to get a good shot off. But it has to be a good shot.
Quick ball movement, and the Rams quickly set their offense. Corrado, a nice surprise for Gadeka and the Rams. It's a team that has really turned over their lineup, have the Rams. Just one returning varsity player from last season.
You look at the Rams, and a lot of times they maybe don't receive the recognition that they probably deserve at the end of the year because they don't put up a lot of points. There isn't a whole lot of stats that come from Gloucester Catholic. One of the reasons is because of their patience on offense. Games are going to be held low scoring because they're going to hold on to the ball, pass it around a lot, look for the open man, and try to get somebody underneath that's going to get a good look at the basket.
And that's indicative right there. Underneath, the ball fed down to Pitman, and she kicks it right back out, and the Rams will start it over again with Corrado up top, being manned up by Dresch. Look inside, power move, too strong. Rebound comes inside, and again it's the Rams. Again, Pitman backs in. They're going to call the travel.
But that's all right. I mean, Pitman can't get down on herself. That was, she didn't have anything. She wasn't set in a position where she could turn around, so she kicked it back out. Gave her the ball back, and she was in good position to get a little hook there. But yeah, that's something she needs to continue to work on and get better is her offense. But at least the fact that she needs to gain a little confidence.
Pickpocket for the Rams was Loeffler, unable to finish, and now they go into a press. Loeffler again will lay it up and in. They're tied at 2 off of a pair of turnovers by the Panthers.
Loeffler, the lone starter coming back from this team, is a junior this season, and she's a pretty good player. There you can see she plays good defense and also one of their most consistent offensive threats.
Beato now trying to create some offense, and she'll feed, and now a little bit of a push here by Corrado. A foul called against the Rams.
This is a very interesting matchup for Pitman, Robin. One of the reasons is to see the frustration and to be able to handle what Gloucester Catholic is going to bring to Pitman. Pitman's not used to being pressed the way they are on the defensive end. And I'm not talking about a press. I'm talking about every dribble contested. You're not going to get much space, and you got to be patient with this Gloucester Catholic defense.
Pitman continuing to run the offense, and they'll switch it up with Beato. Looks for the open shot, and Zweigel all over Beato. Again, thrown away. I have a substitution for Pitman. Coming out of the game will be Dresch, and checking in will be Chaley McFall. McFall did not start the game due to missing a practice. She had the flu, and it's coach's policy to have her sit, but this Pitman offense will certainly look much different with Chaley McFall in. Pitman looks to feed, tipped away, and Pitman comes away with the basketball, looking to set things up. That's Finn. Beato again manned up. Finn running the offense from the top. There's McFall. And we have a moving pick called. Looks like it's going to go against Rutherford.
Good time Rutherford moving when she's trying to set the screen. Good call. It's the offensive foul. You can see Rutherford, number 35, is going to come into your screen here and try to set the screen. Gets her a little too late.
We're tied at 2. Just under 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Pitman again with that left hand, unable to finish, and they'll work it again. And there again, McFall with the steal. A 2-on-1 break. McFall penetrates. Wild shot is rebounded by the Rams. Loeffler.
Corrado did a nice job cutting her off and keeping her to the outside on that break. That's going to be a foul on Beato.
So foul called on Beato, her first. And a little helter-skelter here at Gloucester Catholic.
Corrado is going to get good position here, even though she makes a mistake. Watch Beato here. This is Beato coming back.
That
whack on the arm, yeah.
Pitman shows a little bit of pressure here, and the Rams will quickly break it. Feed inside, taken away by Pitman's Rutherford.
This is one of the things that concern Lisa Gadeka is the 1-3-1 that Pitman will run. And that can cause some problems. That Woodstown kind of bothered him a little bit earlier in the year.
3-second violation. Quite a few turnovers here early. Just over 3 minutes left, and it's just a deuce apiece.
Yeah, you're not going to see much scoring in this game. And, you know, some people that say, oh, you know, the basketball, how can it be a good game when it's 20 in the 20s, both teams? I think it's exciting because every possession counts, Rob. I mean, every single one. When you get the ball in your hands, you have to be able to do something with it when you play teams like Gloucester Catholic or any good defensive team.
Open look, a wild shot, and this will go off of Gloucester Catholic.
Yeah, both teams not doing what they're supposed to when they do get the ball, though. This time, I mean, they're really getting sloppy with a lot of turnovers. And that is a measure of two good defenses playing, though, because Pitman is going to force Gloucester Catholic, who's somewhat offensively challenged.
Ball knocked away again. Contesting every possession is Gloucester Catholic. Some subs will come in for the Rams. It'll be Shaughnessy, their three-point ace, off of the bench. Just a sophomore, a transfer from Clearview. Zari also will come in. And knocked away again. McFall will inbound.
Again, real important to see the body language of both Beato and McFall, to see how they are able to handle the pressure. And, you know, whether they force one. That was a good look.
Foul here. It's like it's away from the basketball.
Wow, I thought they were going to get Dutil coming over the back.
Pitman having a tough time inbounding. Fine, McFall. McFall drives, does not finish. Ball's on the floor. Scramble ensues, and the Rams try to save it. Unable to do so.
Nice job that time. McFall just not able to cash that one in and get the good look there. I mean, that's when you get a good look against Gloucester Catholic, you have to convert.
Again, looking for any type of offense. Nothing doing here, and the Rams will rebound and transition quickly.
If Beato hadn't gotten, that was her first shot. She forced that one.
Open look, easy lay-in for the Rams, Azari.
Nice job by Shaughnessy. From the top of the service, she's able to find Azari underneath.
Beato with the open three, long and good. Well, it was only a matter of time. She has the school record right now with 110 threes. Second all-time is Chaley McFall. She has 109. They tied for the lead in school history coming into today with 109 threes each.
It's a deadly team from the outside. That's why you have to get out on the zone. And what they'll do is Gloucester Catholic is come back to the matchup zone after taking a few years off. And, you know, you got to be able to be patient. You can get a good look in the zone.
McFall steals a good look underneath. Unable to handle for Pitman was Finn. They'll switch up to Beato with an open look. She'll look to penetrate, does inside, off glass, good.
That was a terrific job by Beato. That time, she allows Loeffler to come to her, waits, the patience there, paid off for her. Waits for Loeffler to come in. She's able to dribble around her and get the easy bucket.
Again, Pitman pushing the basketball.
She could have, in the NBA, that would have been a couple of palming violations.
Shot rebounded by Loeffler inside of a minute now. Rams trail by 3, now by 1 off of the open look by Shaughnessy. Maybe their most potent offensive weapon. 7-6 down to 30 seconds left. We'll see if Pitman holds for the shot or just waits for an open look. McFall, three-point shot. Rims out, tipped up, battle ensues, and it's Gloucester Catholic. Nice little tip. Cannot finish, up and good. So Azari, off of the miss of Shaughnessy, puts the Rams on top by 1, and the last shot before the buzzer will fall well short. We'll head to break. It's a tight one here at Gloucester Catholic with the Rams on top by 1. Welcome back to Gloucester Catholic. Rob Christ along with Sean Larry. 8-7. The score here from the tiny gym in Gloucester City.
I love this
Gloucester
gym.
Catholic.
Such a noisy gym. But they don't have the same home crowd that they normally do here at Gloucester Catholic tonight, because we have maybe an early start at 5:30.
Dutil lays it in. 4 now for Dutil. 2 scores for the Panthers. Drive inside, foul committed. We see Corrado head to the free throw line.
Dutil, as I mentioned, cousins with Mary Beato. You see simple drive, and Corrado has done a pretty good job with trying to get her teammates involved, but she's not afraid to take the man off the dribble and try and get in and draw the contact. She was able to do that there, gets herself to the free throw line. Now going to try and even the game up at 9.
And she does. 9-all, 7:30 left, first half. Pitman, Gloucester Catholic. Both of these teams already in the playoffs. Drive inside, McFall showing some of that athleticism, unable to finish. And putting some pressure on, she'll hustle back on defense. Corrado pushes the basketball, finds Shaughnessy for the 3. Beato pulls it down, and here come the Panthers. Panthers looking to penetrate. Beato feeds McFall for the open 3. Rims in and out, tipped up. And baseline, the Panthers will look to pull it out, but stolen away by the hustling Zweigel.
And this pace really favors Pitman as it continues to be an up and back battle. What Pitman will do is they'll be able to get better looks. Gloucester Catholic wants to slow this down into a half-court game.
Beato drives, and no one helping on defense, rims out. And now it's Gloucester Catholic. Corrado feeds the wing. Good ball movement, and Corrado finds someone wide open, but I believe we're going to have a 3-second violation. Second one this evening, one against each team. 9-9. Shaylee McFall looking inside, feeds, and a wild shot by Pittman's Kramer. Pulled down by the Rams. And again, it's Pitman coming away. Shaylee McFall looks to feed Beato. Beato, turnaround shot, nothing. Dutil, again feeding McFall. Open 3 hits, so it's back to a tie.
Yeah.
110 3-pointers now for both Beato and McFall, but more importantly, 3-point lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a matter of time that McFall is going to drop that shot. She had a couple of open looks before, and you have to be able to get out on her, because she's both her and Beato are 2 terrific outside shooters.
Nice feed by McFall. Finds her open partner in Dresch. She dumps it in, 13-9. Panthers with a 4-point edge. Power move inside. Unable to finish again. The Rams inside rebounding, and they're scooping up loose ball after loose ball. They'll start this offense again. Open look for 3. Too strong. Rebound, Pitman. Kramer pulls it down and feeds Dresch. Dresch across the timeline. Beato an open 3. Good rotation, too strong. And Gloucester Catholic now will look to run. Foul committed.
Might be Dutil, and if it is, I believe that might be her 3rd. You see Beato on the ball, and she swipes at the arm. Does it, and I believe, yeah, Dutil's going to the bench. Shit, that might be her 3rd foul. Actually, that's her 2nd.
Catholic across the timeline. Inside the 3-point line, no good. Followed up, rings out. It's been a tough one so far for the Rams. Drive inside, scooping shot, won't fall. Beato comes away with it, cuddles it, and goes. Pitman working perimeter, and it's McFall. Arcing three-pointer from Beato, follows her own shot, no one boxing out, and an easy two. Picking up the garbage is Beato with 7 now.
That's a poor job defensively, and a very uncharacteristic breakdown defensively for Gloucester Catholic, not boxing out efficiently there, and they're now down 15-9. Those are the little things that you need to do against some of the better teams. Watch Beato. After she shoots at, she's going to quickly follow her shot, jump right before Corrado's able to get there, and an easy bucket for Beato.
Beato, one of 3 1,000-point scorers in her family. Her sister and her mother, all 1,000-point scorers. There's only been 5 in the history of Pitman. The 3 Beatos, Shaylee McFall, and 1 other. Open look. No good. And again, it's Pitman. Kramer feeds McFall for the 3. Rims in and out. Beato tips up and gets the rebound. Beato will pull it out. Look to set this offense again, and right now it's Pitman just outworking the Rams, something you don't see characteristically. Ball directing traffic, finds Beato, and again, Pitman content to find an open shot inside of 3 minutes now remaining in this first half.
Right now they're in that matchup zone, and you know, sometimes you can give up offensive rebounds in the zone, but one of the things that you do is limit Pitman from getting the easy baskets. They get a couple of easy ones, and they go back. That's from the man, and they come back into the matchup zone, forcing Gloucester Catholic to beat them from the Pitman to beat them from the outside.
McFall penetrates and draws the foul. She'll head to the free throw line.
See McFall going hard to the basket. Gets herself to the stripe.
It's the first. That was Navone with the foul, her first on the evening. Five, 7 senior. Hits both. She has 5 on the evening, 17-9. Pitman starting to open up a lead.
Lost the pass on the perimeter.
It's the open look. That is Kinsey. So Marissa Kinsey on the stat sheet. Gloucester Catholic coming off a impressive tight victory over Glassboro, 44-41. Prior to that, a tough loss to Bishop Eustace in a game that Lisa Gadeka said that, frankly, we outplayed them and maybe should have won that game. And a timeout is called on the floor with 2 minutes remaining, and Pitman leading 17-11. Gloucester Catholic, as we mentioned, a loss to Bishop Eustace, that coming on the 13th. Their only other loss against Haddon Heights way back in 2006, December 28th. He defeated Digital Harbor from Baltimore in the first game of that 4-team tournament, which took place at Haddon Heights.
And that one Haddon Heights loss, they lost by 15, but that game was closer than what the score showed. And they played pretty well defensively in that game, in the Bishop Eustace game. Those 2 losses, the only 2 you find on its schedule, and the rest, against Tri-County. And Lisa very openly said, no offense to the Tri-County teams, but we haven't played the greatest competition. Not taking away anything from their 9-2 record. But the Tri-County Conference is admittedly a little bit down this season.
Out of that timeout, Pitman setting up a play, and they come away with an air ball. That's nothing that Gibbs wanted to see. But they still hold the 6-point edge, with Gloucester Catholic now chopping away, making it a 4-point edge as Loeffler follows up with the deuce. 17-13, 75 ticks left in this first half. And McFall very deliberate here at the top.
I think what Lisa was trying to say was her team is not overly talented. They've just been working hard, and able to come away with some tight victories.
McFall with the three-point shot, rims out, rebound Catholic, and thrown away. Pass a little too hot for Corrado will result in a turnover. Pitman will regain possession. 17-13, a 4-point edge for the Panthers. Checking out will be Rutherford for the Panthers. Beato. Dutil had designs on driving baseline. Instead, it's McFall. McFall looks inside for Beato. Beato kicks it back out to McFall, and now Dutil with the open look. High arcing shot is rebounded by Beato. And jump ball call, possession arrow points.
Yeah, nice job by Corrado that time. Just going to come in and tie up Mary Beato. A nice look by Dutil, just hits the front of the rim. Watch Corrado come in here. Just grabs the ball. Nice job by number 3. She's a very spicy young player. She'll run around, create a lot of havoc, try to disrupt what the other team wants to do, and she's not afraid to go into the lane offensively.
Down to 10 seconds left. Pitman holding for the last shot. McFall moving the basketball. She has it now, down to 5. Open 3, now inside the three-point lane is short. Gloucester Catholic rebounds, and that will do it for the first half. Tightly contested first half. Pitman will head to the locker room with a 4-point edge. Welcome back to Gloucester Catholic High School. Rob Christ along with Sean Leary. Pitman, the visitor, on top of the Rams of Gloucester Catholic, 17-13. No surprise in the Pitman scoring. Beato and McFall 7 and 5 points respectively. Balanced attack by Gloucester Catholic, scoring just 13 points. A pair of ladies, Loeffler and Azari, each with 4. And we're underway here in Gloucester City.
Azari came off the bench. Her and Shaughnessy gave them a couple of points and sparked a little bit of the offense. I mean, there's not much when you get 13 points in the first half. But this is Gloucester Catholic. They're not going to see much scoring, and they're going to hold their opponent usually under 40 points.
Loeffler with a fine defensive play, negating the drive of McFall. Pitman maintains possession with the 4-point edge. McFall will pull out the defense and look inside. Foul committed by Gloucester Catholic's Megan Pierman.
One of the things also about Gloucester Catholic is they're not afraid to go to the bench. Shaughnessy will come off of there, and we saw Kinsey, Zary. Navone starts and is one of those type of role players, along with Pierman, a role player. But they're going to need some help offensively somewhere, whether it comes off the bench or with some of their starters.
McFall, tough drive inside. Won't go. That basket has been unforgiving on that end. 7:20 left. Gloucester Catholic would like to cut that lead in half. Open look for Corrado. Rims out, tipped away, foul committed. This one's going against Pitman's Kramer.
Yeah, still a good look by Corrado, just not able to get that one to drop. But when you have that open look, Lisa Gadeka wants you to be able to get that shot off and be confident enough to be able to hit it. And that's one of the things out of the 5 starters. You know, she's not afraid to let them shoot when they want, but they need to be able to get open looks. Here's another open look.
Rims out. And Gloucester Catholic continues to struggle offensively. Beato across the timeline, pushing the basketball. And she'll look to penetrate baseline. Underneath, wild shot denied. And that's a case of just trying to do a little bit too much. Both of these teams very frustrated at this point. Just 30 points in that first half. And we're well into the third quarter here. Still no points and another turnover.
I'd love Pierman just to go up, turn around, and try to get a little left hook off the glass when she's in that spot. But when you don't get shots to fall, Rob, you get kind of discouraged from shooting, and that's one of the things that Gloucester Catholic has to try and negate from happening is really to not get discouraged. Try to stay confident. Try to be positive. Those shots will go down. If you continue to get better looks, they'll eventually fall for you.
Beato, open three. Too strong. Rebound again. Tipped up underneath. It's Dutil. Struggle ensues. Jump ball. Possession arrow. Favors Gloucester Catholic.
We've seen Dutil, Rob, and she's Miss Pitman. She plays the piano, but nothing in her basketball game is soft.
No, absolutely. I would agree with that.
She's a very tough competitor. Plays very hard. You see her there scrapping with Pitman, trying to get the ball.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, you have someone who is multi-talented and very, very scrappy.
She's a good athlete. We saw her at the standout. She did a lot of good things. She's not the best horseshoe player around, but she's pretty good at everything else.
Zari with 6, leading all scores for the Rams. 17-15. Open 3. Rims out. One shot and done. Here comes Gloucester Catholic. Corrado looking to break down. Feeds. Drive inside. Too strong underneath. Followed up. Good.
Yeah, Zari's got a nice touch around the rim. She's been most of the offense here for Gloucester Catholic, but I like the way she plays inside, and she's got good soft hands in the paint. That time falling away, she was able to get it up off the glass and gets it to go down.
Gloucester Catholic right now on an 8-0 run, and that will end with the nice feed inside to Abby Finn.
Abby Finn, she does a good job there. I think she's one of those crossovers. You know, there's a lot of teams, a lot of real nice players that can play a couple sports here. Beato, Dutil.
Right now, Azari's having a field day. All 6 points for the Rams in the third quarter. 10 on the evening in total. We're tied at 19 with 4:40 left in this third quarter.
Beato is known for one of the top basketball players, but also one of the best Gloucester County tennis players. A very good high jumper.
Ball on the floor, and Pitman again comes away. Here's McFall. She'll look to push and try to put Pitman back on top. Dutil fakes the shot, goes up top, and they'll reset the offense. Open three-point shot is good. Well, now it's Finn answering Azari. She has 5 points all in this third quarter for Pitman. 22-19, Pitman on top. Back and forth we go. Pitman yet to surrender that lead. Sometime. Open look. Rims out. Tipped up Beato. Loeffler couldn't hit the open shot, and now Beato will look to drive. Feeds underneath to Dutil.
Great defense by Loeffler. She's just going to come in and do an excellent job of getting the block. And, you know, that's the type of Gloucester Catholic player, Rob, that she misses on one end. She doesn't get discouraged. She comes running down and makes a defensive play. And that's the toughness that Lisa Gadeka was all about when she played. And now her players under her have that same type of attitude.
Wow. They call a travel there. And let's take a look at this travel.
Going to get the steal here. Good hands.
I don't know if we can let this roll. They call a travel. That's a good call. She changed her. Well,
well,
see if she changes her pivot foot. She still maintained contact. So she had an opposite pivot foot, but she did maintain it. 22-19, Pitman. Inside for Zari. She's been a force. No good. Rebound, McFall. She'll quickly pull it out. In transition. Dutil. Right now, Pitman content to slow things down and set this offense.
I think it's a good idea to be patient.
Beato, turnaround shot, good. Shooter's touch, and Beato with her first 2 points of this second half. She now has 9.
See, that's a perfect spot for Beato because not only can she create in the paint when she's that deep, but also she can pass over top and find somebody open on the outside with Shaylee McFall who's a deadly shooter, and you have some other good shooters out there along with Finn. That really puts Gloucester Catholic in a bad spot when you have Beato that deep.
Shaylee McFall again at the top, feeds Finn. Now inside, they'll go to Beato. Till will look to penetrate, pulls it back out.
The thing for Pitman is, can they beat Wildwood? Wildwood undefeated. They look like they're the team to beat. Or they look like it's the team to beat in Group 1. But you look around this Pitman team, and they have experience. They have the 2 outside shooters, but Beato can go on the inside. You have Dutil is tough as nails. You have some bench players that come in and help out. This is a good team.
Inside, Beato's fouled and good.
And no answer for Beato right now in this third quarter for Gloucester Catholic. She's starting to take over the game, and along with Shamira Rothmiller and Shannon Gant, probably the top 3 players in Gloucester County. And Mary is 5'10", a junior.
Beato hits 5 points now in this third quarter, 12 overall. Pitman, you mentioned some of their Group 1 opponents. Palmyra is another good one. Pitman defeated Palmyra in Pitman's Christmas tournament after defeating Overbrook in the opener on a 3-point buzzer beater by Abby Finn.
That was big, especially because you have McFall and Dutil and Beato, and then Abby Finn early in the year hits a game-winning buzzer beater. That really helps your team, because then it's more of a team. It's not just looking to see if Beato is going to score or McFall is going to be a hero. Azeri, she's brought her A game tonight.
No question, 12 points on the evening. She typically comes off the bench to spell Pierman. There again with the basketball. Pitman will quickly look to transition. Looking to penetrate inside, foul committed, and before the shot, Loeffler fouled.
A little limpy too, also. I think this might have been the right call. It looks like she got fouled there.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that's a good call.
That is a good call.
I think some of the Gloucester Catholic fans like the call, but
NBA, it's a 3-point play, but not in high school.
NBA, you start about 3 or 4 more steps before you.
Half court. Beato quickly across the timeline, feeds an open McFall. Good. McFall reclaims the 3-point edge at Pitman. She has 2 on the evening to Beato's 1, and a total of 8 points. 30-21.
You think they think about that at all?
That's a good question. No, honestly, ladies tend to be far less selfish. There's the 3-point shot by Shaughnessy, so I would say no.
Dudes are way selfish.
Dudes, as soon as he hits it, he's like, I'm one up on you.
I'm going to take another one again when I come back down again.
Yeah, meanwhile, the other team's hitting an open layup. Drive inside, Dutil widely. And that will do it for the third quarter. Pitman extends their edge 30-24 as we head to the fourth. Welcome back to Gloucester Catholic High School. Rob Christ along with Sean Larry. Fourth quarter just underway with Pitman on top 30-24. It's been a tightly played game throughout. Largest edge, Pitman by 9 at one point. But Gloucester Catholic always hanging around with that tight defense. Beato drives inside, and they're calling a charge. The referees have 2 different calls here. And they're going to get together and discuss. No, they're going to just simply call a charge on Beato. Things getting heated in the Gloucester Catholic gym. We've seen that once or twice before. Crowd always involved. Volume not what it is because of the capacity. I should say capacity, but the crowd on hand. 7:25 left. Just a reset. It's Pitman on top 30-24. They have led most of the game. Beato leading all scores, and she once again has the basketball. McFall. She'll look to penetrate, pulls inside. A nice, easy look. Nice feed to Elsie Rutherford with her first deuce of the game. It's 32-24 now for Pitman.
Yeah, too easy for Rutherford inside.
And coming right back, the three-point sniper Shaughnessy now with 8.
You can see Shawnee and Nazari keep slapping the other 5 down there. And even the bulk of the scoring coming off the bench.
Nice move by McFall. She's fouled, but you see a little of the slipperiness of Shaylee McFall.
Yeah, a lot of people, you see the records that Beato and McFall hold and think that they're just outside shooters. Well, one look at Beato will tell you that she can be a force inside. But McFall is fearless going on the inside. She is a terrific athlete, a great ball handler. And Liz Gibbs has done a nice job with this team in putting them in position to make plays. And McFall is a girl who will.
She's automatic from the free throw line. 4 for 4 tonight for McFall.
Well, everyone knows that she can shoot, but she's done a nice job of creating, getting her team involved. Like I said, she handles a rock.
Again, an open 3. This time hits the side. Azari, though, can't clean up the garbage, and a foul called. And this looks like it's going to go against Beato.
What is Azari tonight? She is really doing the job on the inside. Pitman's not a huge team, but watch Azari here just fighting. Fighting for the offensive board. Goes up and just forces Pitman to foul.
Gloucester Catholic has only been to the free throw line twice tonight. And now with that third attempt on the evening, just 1 for 3. See the junior center not pleased with that first attempt. She'll look to tighten this game up and unable to do so. Tapped out. Gloucester Catholic maintains possession. So 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Gloucester Catholic a perfect 5 for 5. And if you look at things, that's the difference right now, Sean.
Yep. The difference is there's little things in the game, and that's why I said it's so important when you have a defensive game like this where every possession counts, every free throw counts, and you look at the little things. You have to do the little things right when either you're playing against Gloucester Catholic or playing for Gloucester Catholic.
34-28, a press put on by the Rams, and McFall beats the press. Open 3, Finn, rims out, rebound, Dutil quickly back up, rims out again. Here comes Gloucester Catholic. 34-29, again, fourth quarter with 5:40 remaining. Inside Azari. Again, they'll go to the big center, and a foul called here. It looks like on Dutil.
Boy, I love the way Zari's playing underneath. She is, I mean, you can see she's gaining confidence inside the paint where she wants the ball. She's commanding it, demanding it, then commanding it.
So inbound here, it's going to be Loeffler looking underneath. And finds Corrado. Corrado, scoop shot, wild, pull down, Beato now.
Corrado's just got to work on that touch once she gets inside the paint, throws it up a little heavy. She's able to get that nice soft kiss down. She has the speed to break down the defender.
Dutil looks to penetrate. Instead kicks out, and a foul call against the Rams. So more fouls this quarter than any other.
Well, you get a little bit more tired. You don't move your feet as much, and then what happens, you start grabbing, you start swiping with the arm, and you pick up more fouls. That's why you see a little bit more fouls sometimes in the fourth quarter. And it gets called a little tighter also in the fourth quarter.
Good point. Loose ball. And nothing called. Long baseball pass, too much. And Pitman back on the attack. So after the scrum, Gloucester Catholic came away with it, but unable to maintain possession. Here comes Pitman once again.
And that's, you know, Gloucester Catholic isn't a team who runs out into the break and they try to do something that is not one of your team's characters, not, I mean, inside its characteristic, and you try to do something differently, you get the turnover there. They're a team with patience. And of course, they're going to run if they have the opportunity to, but you know, Pitman had time to react to that and get back on defense.
Four-plus minutes left. Pitman looking for an open look. Finn kicks it back to Beato, and they will be very patient here.
Nice job by Corrado.
Beato comes away with it.
She's pesky.
And again, Pitman content to work the perimeter. McFall will look to penetrate. No, she'll kick. And again, Pitman calls
Liz
timeout.
Gibbs going to call a timeout here, but right now they don't mind running a little clock, forcing Gloucester Catholic to come and defend.
Talk a little bit about Liz Gibbs and the coaching staff. Liz Gibbs, before we talk about the coaches, let's take a look at the replay.
And what's Corrado with the quick hands? I told you she's pesky with good, clean swipe. Almost catches Beato, but Beato, what a terrific athlete she is, Rob. I mean, not just a basketball player. I mentioned it before. A little bit different too. I mean, he plays tennis, and in high jump. I mean, high jump and basketball go together pretty well. But you know, a terrific tennis player that combines that touch with quick reflexes. You see the girls' basketball state champs. There are some good teams put together, some good athletes inside this gymnasium.
Getting back to the coaches, Liz Gibbs attended Haddonfield High School, went on to play LaSalle University collegiately, going up against Lisa Gadeka, who played at Villanova, so a Big Five matchup in terms of coaching. And speaking of coaching, Kelly Crispin, one of the assistant coaches here for Pitman. There you see Liz Gibbs. And of course, the name Crispin looms quite large in the town of Pitman.
With a joke, of course, because I had a chance to get to know John and Joe a little bit, and Kelly. Crispin family, good group of people there, along with the Beatos now. There's been a lot of them over the last decade. Two big, very skilled and athletic families that have come out of Pitman, and especially on the basketball court.
Elsie Rutherford, it's the open look. She has four, all coming in this critical fourth quarter. 7-point edge now for Pitman as we approach the 3-minute mark in this fourth quarter. There, the outside three is good. Shaughnessy has been deadly from three. 11 points tonight, 9 of which have come from her 3 trays. Beato cut off, working against the press.
Almost able to that. We're close. She did.
Open look, no good.
Bad shot though.
Rebound on the floor, and it's Gloucester Catholic. And you can see that the intensity has picked up here dramatically. 36-32, just a 4-point edge for the Panthers. Playoff type atmosphere here at Gloucester Catholic.
Well, after that three from Shaughnessy, Coach Gadeka immediately goes to a press, trying to change things up and give Pitman a different look with a couple minutes left in the game, trying to create a turnover. That's why Gadeka is such a good coach. She'll fire things at you, especially late in the game. Oh, wow.
Foul called here. Looked like McFall was going to go coast to coast.
Yeah.
Instead, it's going to be a foul on the Panthers.
Yeah, it looked like they got McFall there with the reach. That was her second foul.
2:10 left now. Still 4 points and an easy layup here. Zeri just unable to hold on as she put it on the floor. It's hard to fault her. She's had quite an evening.
Yeah, it's probably her easiest look at the basket the entire night, and just kind of slipped out of her hands. But so far in tonight's game, this is the reason Gloucester Catholic is in this game is from what Azari has been doing.
It's Beato, and she'll quickly push it across the timeline. Picks up the dribble, but finds Finn. Over to Rutherford, inside to Dutil, and they'll kick it back out to Finn. With 1:45 now left in this fourth quarter. 4-point edge, Panthers. And McFall trying to run the offense.
Gloucester Catholic going to try to go to man here and get the steal. I think that was off of a Pitman player.
I believe it was. If there was no foul, it should be Gloucester Catholic possession.
I think they missed it. I think everyone missed it. I think you and I were the only two people the entire gym that saw that.
1:32 left now.
Maybe we're wrong. We're all getting old. Our eyes are getting bad.
And a turnover. Here comes Gloucester Catholic. Corrado with the basketball. She'll feed. And open Loeffler, who decides to set the offense up. She'll look to penetrate, driving in, laying it. Loeffler with 6 points.
Character. This is a character game for Gloucester Catholic. You know, they like the way they played against Bishop Eustace and Haddon Heights, but they were not able to really pull out the wins there. And against good teams, you want to get one or two good quality wins. Watch Loeffler here, just a terrific drive, splits the defense and is able to go up for an easy basket.
This is a game where you kind of feel like Pitman had an opportunity to put it away a couple times and simply let Gloucester Catholic hang around. We've seen this Gloucester Catholic team over the years so often, and this is not a team you want to allow to hang around. Always well coached, very disciplined, and they're going to take advantage of every opportunity.
Well, the one thing you don't want to have happen is have Gloucester Catholic with a chance to tie or win and have possession in the last 20 seconds, because then you give Gadeka an opportunity to try to set something up. And, you know, Liz Gibbs, no disrespect to her, because she's only been coaching for the last couple of years here at Pitman, and I haven't been able to see how good, although we've seen now how good a coach she is. But Lisa Gadeka is one of the best coaches in South Jersey, and I think it's hard to argue that.
Now, McFall had an opportunity to run baseline on the last inbound. She will not be able to do that here, but does find Beato. Beato right back to McFall, and she will easily get it over the timeline. Down to just over a minute left. McFall back to Finn. Up top to Dutil. Dutil had an opportunity to penetrate, opted not to.
Coach Gibbs always, the last couple of years, she's been saying, "No, I'm just working this part-time, just helping out." But what she's done here at Pitman High School has a lot of Panther fans extremely excited.
Here's McFall. She'll look to drive, instead feeds. Open Rutherford, rims in and out, no good. 36-34. I'm not sure that Gibbs would have liked that shot, although it was an open look. Down to 25 seconds left. Gloucester Catholic can either tie or take the lead here, trailing by 2. And they're going to look like they're going to hold for the last shot. 15 seconds, timeout called by Lisa Gadeka and the Rams.
What she's telling her team right now is to throw that pass a little crisper, get it over there, move the ball around so you can find an open look. And the way Gloucester Catholic moves the ball, you have to expect that they're going to get an open jump shot here, or maybe opt to go in to try to set up Loeffler for some type of drive to the basket. But that scenario we just talked about was right here. 2 with a chance to tie or go with a lead, and you have Lisa Gadeka drawing up a play with 15 seconds left.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what defense Pitman comes out in. One thing you see Gibbs talking to her team about is making sure that there are no fouls committed. Just simply hold a hand straight up. This way, on a three-point shot, you can't have someone defeat you at the free throw line. We saw that the other night in the Sixers game.
And right now, the Pitman has 6 fouls, none to give now to Gloucester Catholic. Sixers. No one watches the Sixers anymore.
Apparently I did just on one occasion.
It was surely by accident. You were wondering, oh, who are these guys?
36-34. They almost gave away a game against the Miami Heat. Forced the game into overtime, and the Sixers would prevail.
Yeah, I know.
15 seconds left, 36-34, and it's going to be Loeffler to inbound.
I'm already thinking Greg Oden there.
Yes, Corrado with the basketball. She'll look to penetrate, kicks it out for the three, looking for Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy inside, shot up, no good. Beato on the ground, and a scrum ensues. Ball game. Pitman comes away with a tight game. And stick around, we'll have post-game interviews and a wrap right after this. Welcome back to Gloucester City. Gloucester Catholic falls at the hands of Pitman. A tight 2-point win for the Panthers of Pitman, here with winning head coach Liz Gibbs. And coach, anytime you come into this gym, a tight game, tough place to play, you have to feel good about the victory tonight.
Yeah, we feel great. Actually, this is our first time we've been in this gym because of the crossovers, the change of the conference, so it's our first time in here. So the girls, they felt it coming in, you know, the gym. But it was a great win, and to go against such an excellent coach, it's my first time to go against her. The thrill for all of us. Yeah.
Well, this was a game that, you know, it seemed like you really had control for the most part. It just seems like you could never put them away, and it really came down to the end. But, you know, prior to the game, we talked about the two big guns that you have in McFall and Beato, and they seemed to really carry you.
Yeah, they did. As usual, they stepped up for us. And like I said before the game, too, we were just going to try to change up our defense as much as possible. And I think it helped. It kept them just a little off setting up their offense. They didn't seem as slow and deliberate as usual, so I think it helped.
One of the big things I think you take away from this game is you're victorious over a solid defensive team. The intensity level in some ways mirrored that of the playoffs. What do you draw from this to carry into the playoffs?
Well, one, we had a huge incentive today. We have to win this one and the next one so that we get a high seed in the tournament. If we don't, we could end up down in Wildwood, which is just a hard place to play and to go. So one of our incentives today was just win, so for the playoff spot. Being Gloucester Catholic's great, but it really has nothing to do with our conference. So it was more incentive for the playoffs.
Well, again, congratulations today on the victory. Our own Sean Leary with the two big guns tonight. Take it away, Sean.
Well, we have Mary Beato, but also Shaylee McFall. And Shaylee, this is a big win for you guys because, and I know that, you know, when you come and play against Gloucester Catholic, it's the first time you played against them. Yeah. But it's Gloucester Catholic. There's a mystique about them. Tell me about like the excitement about playing this team. It had to be one of the games you guys circle on the schedule.
It was exciting coming here and everything. I mean, they're a really good team, so it was exciting to win. And we did our best to get it, and we got it. So
now I know you and of course Mary, you got this little thing going on where both you guys are going for that 3-point career. Do you guys think about that at all, or joke around about it that you guys are up in the 3-pointer career for Pitman High School?
We don't really joke about it, but when it happened, she's like, oh, no, she's more 3-pointers ahead of me, and it kind of like goes back and forth once in a while, but Mary's definitely got it now. But yeah, it's pretty cool how like two of us on the same team broke the record and everything. So
there's not like a McDonald's cheeseburger or a trip to Hello Gorgeous on this thing?
No.
No. You have, obviously people know you for being a great shooter. One of the things you like to do is go in the paint and drive and use some of your athletic skills. Is that something maybe people don't know about you and you kind of expose that when they play against them sometimes in the game?
Usually, yeah, they stick to us on the 3-pointers and everything, so I just use that to an advantage to drive in, and I kind of like it when they come out in the 3 because then we can drive in and get the foul called, so yeah.
Well, I think you're now up by 1 3-pointer, so I think you guys should put something on it, like at least like a cheeseburger or something, you know, at least to make it so it's kind of fun. And yeah, no?
Maybe.
No, we'll put it, we can even do someone in the Gloucester County Times, so, you know, like little cheeseburger, and it'll be like the watch at Pitman. But thank you very much, and best of luck to you for the rest of the year. And Mary, now you're one behind. You're a cheeseburger behind here with these 3-pointers. I mean, do you guys talk about that at all and joke around? She says no, not too much.
We do. We keep it on the phone, and we try to fight about it now. No, we don't really talk about it. I didn't even know. We really didn't even know that we were even close. So it's fun that, you know, people can surprise us like that.
Now, Mary, this is a big game for you guys. I mean, all kidding aside, this is Gloucester Catholic, and they play great defense. And in the playoffs, you're going to see good defensive teams. So this is a kind of a tune-up that you guys kind of need going into that Group 1 tournament.
Although they're not really a big conference game, they definitely prepare us for the playoffs, which I really think every year we've been getting better and better. And I think that this year, playing better teams like this against great defense is really going to get us prepared for the playoffs.
How tough is it for you, because you're used to putting up some big numbers against Gloucester Catholic? It's tough because they slow it down so much. It's hard. Is it tough to not get frustrated with your game because you used to being more of a factor on the offense, or do you get that out of your head and just say, I'm going to solely worry about defense in this game and the numbers will come?
They're a very disciplined team. As you could see on offense, really, they took their time until they got the wide open layup, and they did an excellent job executing. What really I like about playing these teams is that, I don't have to, there's nothing relying on me. Everyone can score. As you see tonight, a ton of people score, and it was great that we can spread out the points like that, and that's what we need for a team.
You guys have done the job so far. A terrific effort by you guys again tonight. One of the best teams in Gloucester County. And I guess when you have girls like Mary Beato and Maggie Dutil and Finn and McFall, Rutherford mixing in, and Navone, I mean, you can go on down the list. You can spread the ball around, and I think it's kind of good when you have that type of team where you can move the ball around. Everyone's happy. That thing we talked about with Lisa Gadeka about chemistry, Pitman has it. And I think they're having a lot of fun. I like the whole cheese. I think they ought to at least bet, maybe a cheeseburger on that whole 3-point contest. At least a cheeseburger. While you were talking over there, we were talking about something.
Always comes down to food with you, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I said a trip to Hello Gorgeous, but I don't know what we'll work something in there. We'll get something going.
Well, and for this Gloucester Catholic team, very typical, scrappy defensively, very well coached in the game, and in many ways a game that you think they really had no business being in. The shots weren't falling for them, but this is a team that you never want to play because you're in for a dogfight.
Yeah, I mean, they just play so well defensively. And, I mean, from where this team was last year, and we got a chance to see them, and I talked with Lisa Gadeka, they had no clue that they would be 9-2. I know she felt like this team was not going to be a very good team. They didn't have the experience. They didn't have the skill level, and you could see it offensively. They do struggle at times scoring, but one of the things that Gloucester Catholic is going to do is stay in the game because of the way they work hard and they play defense. And that this team is no different. They do have some girls coming off the bench to give them a little bit of a spark. Let's see if they can now mature and help some of them other offensive players also improve in their offensive skills, because this is a good defensive team. They work hard. They do the little things, but they're still going to need to try and find some scores to do anything in the playoffs.
Once again, it was Pitman victorious here at Gloucester Catholic in a tight Tri-County matchup. For my partner Sean Leary, my director Kevin Lamastra, and the rest of the crew, I'm Rob Chris. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.